What's up, UglyAzzNiggas? This your boy J Miles, and I'm back with another video. And you know what to do. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking, but most importantly, make sure you share it with your UglyAzz friends. On today's video, we will be covering Power Universe. And this one right here is titled, Why Did Ghost Kill Breeze? That's right, UglyAzzNiggas. So today's video, I'm going to be touching on just a general Power Universe video. I mean, it's kind of in relations to Raising Kanan as well, so it's kind of like it's in both, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's not directly talking about Raising Kanan because I'm, kind of dealing with Ghost. But as we know, Breeze is this iconic character that we've been hearing about for the longest. And we know that ultimately Ghost ends up taking him out. So I thought it would be a good video to basically unravel what's the reason for him ultimately deciding to take him out. Because as we know, he said that he loved Breeze and he was like a brother to him. But for some reason, he decided he had to go. So in my opinion, it was a multitude of reasons. But ultimately, I think him getting in the way of his future may have paid the biggest part in it. That and him, being very reckless. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this. Basically, first off, what I want to show here, in my opinion, I made this reference on this channel a couple of times, that Ghost and Rock has a lot in common. It's like Rock is the female version of him. Although, of course, she came first, but still, they have a lot in common, kind of with the parenting, the way they run the operations, etc., etc. So, basically, I needed to, basically show the parallels between these two to kind of get you in the state of mind of where I'm coming from when I reveal some of these things. So I'm going to be focusing on 4 characters here, and that's going to be Rock, Kanan, Unique, and Ronnie, because they all play a part in, I believe, the reason why ultimately Ghost takes out Breeze. Because as you know, I think it is a high possibility that Unique is Breeze. But even if he's not, I think the same rules may apply to whoever it turns out to be. But anyways, Rock, as we know, since the beginning of Raising Kanan, her operation has been built for a finesse. She's never really been the type to have a bunch of guys on the corners pushing. Like, she's done that, but I believe, as we know, towards the end of season 1, she came up with a better idea due to 2 people that helps her, basically come up with the plan that she ultimately came up with in season 2, which was, Symphony and then also Cartier. She basically found a way to have her operation be built for finesse and to be hiding in plain sight and still, push a load of product without the feds even knowing what's going on. As we know, Ghost had that same mentality. The whole operation was built for finesse. So basically, similar to what's going on with Rock right now, when Kanan started attacking Ghost's operation, they didn't really have soldiers to go to war with. We know this because they said it. Our operation is built for finesse. Rock's operation is just like that. So let me go ahead and direct to you the reason why I believe he took him out. But of course, we're going to have to listen in to some of the things that Ghost said, the reason why he decided to take him out. And then I'll go ahead and further finish explaining it.
I killed Breeze because he got in the way of my future. I was your age.
There you have it. So we know that he took out Breeze ultimately because he got in the way of his future. That's what he told him in episode 10 of 610 of the final season, right? So why is this important? Because as you know, we're going to be identifying why did he ultimately take down Breeze. We know from Kanan that Ghost had plans and aspirations to expand the business even before Breeze was taken out. Well, not necessarily since before Breeze was taken out, but we know for sure he at least had those type of aspirations before Kanan went into jail. How do we know this?
Funny shit than me, Kanan. Ghost and Tommy kept coming around talking about some shit I wasn't down with. So he got rid of me by sending me to prison.
So as you see, Ghost had plans to want to go and he had plans to want to build or uplift the organization, but Kanan, who was the number one, and I believe Ghost had to have been the number two at the time, wasn't down with that. He just said. So I believe the same thing was going on with Breeze. Now, and I'm gonna dig in a little further on this. So let's go ahead and take a look at Unique, aka Breeze, and how he was running his organization. Because keep in mind, I'm gonna say this before I go into it. Unique also wanted to kind of build his operation more in the, I believe he was kind of moving in the direction of building it for Finesse. We know this because he started that in season 3, and his brother Ronnie didn't approve of it. He liked being on the corners. How do we know this? Let's go ahead and take that look at it.
When we had niggas out in these corners getting paid. Before you went in, cops was rounding up niggas as soon as they posted up. He's fuck with us.
So there you have it. Ronnie's way of doing business was having people on the corners. And then, like he said, if the police mess with him, they always stay a step ahead, right? So his idea was to be on the corners, and so was Kanan's. How do we know this? Here's another clip.
What?
I just can't help but think none of this shit would be going down if Kanan were here.
If Kanan were here, we'd still be working the corner. Cheer up.
There you have it. So Kanan was more favorable to staying on the corners. Ronnie, who was Kanan's first mentor, really, was the type to have people working on the corners. Now, here's the thing. Let's go ahead and go to Unique, because like I told you, he was kind of looking at the same type of things that Rock was doing at one point.
You hear about Dean, man? Fuck Dean got to do with your broke ass business. You're always focused on the wrong thing, Meek. Rock took all we had and left you with this bullshit. And you smiling because you got your head stuck between her legs.
I'm gonna pause it and do a little skip because YouTube, how they be. And Also, that part's not
That
important.
shit about me. Nobody checkmate Meek. I'll tell you one last time, man. Rock out the game. I know you got other work. Money gotta be coming in some way. This is it. This is what we got. This ain't shit.
So, as you can see, Unique was trying to get Ronnie to get on board with running the operation through the Chinese restaurant. That way they could hide in plain sight and the police won't be checking for them. Very similar to Rock, very similar to Ghost, right? So, but of course, Ronnie didn't agree with it. Now, later, after the brutal, incident between the conflict between Ronnie and Unique, I think Unique started to realize, or at least he thought, that Ronnie was right this entire time. So he kind of redirected things and went back to working on the corners. And he only wanted to work on the corners. He didn't want to do nothing like how Rock was doing it. He didn't want to do nothing before how things were done before he was working with his brother. So he went back to being the corner boy. And he was stuck in his ways, not wanting to change. That is the reason why Ghost was saying he was standing in his way, in the way of his future. Because he wanted to stay on the corners. And Ghost wanted to expand. So he took him out. Also, I think I'm starting to lean more towards that it's possible, not saying 100%, but it is possible that Ghost and Tommy may have plotted the attempt to take out Breeze on their own, and Kanan didn't approve of it, and later on he just let it go. You know what I'm saying? Because keep in mind, on that same clip in season 6, episode 10, when Ghost was talking to Tariq, he said what Kanan didn't know, what Kanan couldn't tell you. So that there tells you, because I know a couple of y'all was debating me on a live one time whether or not, Ghost took Breeze out by himself, whether or not Kanan knew. Some of them even speculated to say that Kanan was there. And I was like, no, Kanan wasn't there. What happened was Ghost and Tommy took them out together, and then Ghost left Tommy's name out of it. That's what happened. And as you can see from episode 610, he said what Kanan didn't know, what Kanan couldn't tell you. So that means Kanan wasn't there. If Kanan was there, then he would know that Ghost gave him one more chance. But since he didn't, that means he wasn't there. But anyways, so there you have it, people. The reason Ghost took him out is because he wanted to work. He had aspirations to expand and really start having the money coming in. And of course, Breeze wanted to stay on the corners. And of course, he was, as Ghost said, he was a bad mother effer. He was going to get them all killed. So, although he did love Breeze, he was like, I can't let him get in the way of my future. Like, I'm not moving nowhere. I'm still on the corners. So, as long as Breeze is here, I'm not going to be able to get to where I need to go. And he thought the same thing with Kanan. I think when he first took out Breeze, he was hoping he could maybe, since he was a little closer with Kanan, maybe, he was like, maybe I can persuade him to, go ahead and get on board. But he wasn't able to get him to do it either. But as he said, he loved Kanan like a brother. So he just sent him to prison. But ultimately, Breeze had to be put down. So definitely let me know, in the comments what you guys think of this particular theory. I think it's a pretty solid attempt at the reason why he took him out. I think it's because he was blocking him out from, becoming who him and Tommy ended up ultimately becoming. And I believe we will get that story in Origins. But hey, like I said, definitely hit these comments. Leave your ideas and your theories of what you think could potentially have been the reason. And like usual, if you're cool and fooling me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure you share with your glad friends. But until the next video, I'm out.